episode of Top Gear.
But I've got that bit of rusty stuff letting it down. I need to get that sorted. After its little drive in the snow, it decided to go wrong a few ways. So I'm going to send it to garages and places here and there to get it done. And I don't know how long it's going to take. We're going to get a quote for the bodywork that I want done. There's a bit of rust here and there. And then get the interior done, the wheels refurbished.
Still nothing.
Yeah, looking healthy enough. New starter motor fitted. Yes! My new car. Whoa! There you go. And the Z is what I've got. There we are. Judge's choice, stunning mode. And now, here I am, 3 years older, standing in front of you, about to reveal my first car, or we should say re-reveal it, because I revealed it about 7 or 8 years ago when I first bought this. So it's been kind of on-off restoration. It could have been done a lot quicker, but I wanted to get it right. And what started off as a 2-month plan ended up as a 2 to 3 year plan. So I'm about to show you, to celebrate my 500,000 subscribers, my MG, the colour I've gone for, what I've done to it and what it's been doing for the last 3 years. And I'm so excited because this landmark, this 500,000 subscriber landmark that I've reached, I think is the perfect opportunity to reveal this car. Obviously, as with every type of restoration or project, there's still so much more that can be done and little bits that needs to be done, and I'll discuss those later. But here it is in its pretty much finished state after all those years, to celebrate 500,000 of you following me, which I thank you so much for. So without further delay, I'm going to have to go over there to adjust the zoom because I'm on my own. Here it is, my 1972 MGB GT, and to the untrained eye, or to most people looking from that far back, it looks exactly the same as it did 3 years ago. Now, new subscribers, maybe even half of my subscriber count, if not more, probably haven't seen this car at all and don't even know that I've owned this. It's just on my channel banner and that's about it. So this is still in its original flame red colour. I say original, I'm yet to get a historic report on it. Apparently it could have been that mustard yellow originally, but I don't know yet for sure. But this is the colour that it was before it started the restoration. But it was various different shades of red, and now it is all one colour because the sunroof was put in at a later stage and then that was blended badly. The sills had been done and that was blended badly, and some other parts had been blended badly. And there was rust all around the front, around the rear, around the valances, around the side skirts, around the rear bumper, and now there's no rust at all. So I've had a complete respray of the whole car, and the bumpers, which were chrome before, this is an original chrome bumper car, I've changed the bumpers. They were a little bit too worn, so I'd used metal polish on the chromed bumper and that had worn the chrome down, so it was yellowing. So instead of restoring it, which re-chroming costs about the same as new bumpers, I thought I'd go for some new ones. And the overriders, to people who know, are incorrect for this year of car. So I've got rid of the rubber stoppers on the overriders just because I think it looks a little bit better. So that's the bumper that the Series 1 MGB had. This is unofficially a Series 3, but the Series 2 and 3 are pretty much the same car. It's just a bit updates on the dashboard and stuff like that. So it's back, and I want to use this maybe even as a daily. So I bought my RX-8, which is now gone, it's in Poland with a 2J, as the replacement daily, because this was my daily car throughout university. As I said, it was my first car, and I want to kind of relive some of that, but I'm not going to get rid of my Nissan 350Z, which is the car I replaced the RX-8 with. I was only meant to do a bit of a respray and just a tidy up of things. But when you're restoring a car, you think, oh no, I'll do that. Oh no, I'll do that. Oh no, maybe this. So I'm going to give you a little walk around. I'm going to chuck the camera into my hand so I can show you exactly what I've done with this car, but I won't be too in detail. That will be in a separate video if the demand calls for it, because a lot of you just want to see the car, and this is also to congratulate all of you for joining me, all 500,000 of you for joining me along my journey. So let's have a look at what I've done. This is the first time in 3 years that I've held a camera in my right hand whilst talking about my MG. There's got to be lots of first times in 3 years throughout this video, but here it is in all of its classic glory. So please, if you are one of the OG followers and remember this car, let me know in the comments. But for the rest of you, this car means a lot to me. So as I said, I've had the whole car resprayed so that it is all in one colour. So that was done by Manaway Bodyworks, and the rest of the work was done by a bit of myself and Universal Classic Cars Workshop. So here it is, do a little walk around, still got the old original windows with the Adam C logo, new windscreen, partially because the old one was a bit scratched because of poor wipers and also because we smashed it. We've also refurbished the wheels. They were done by the wheel specialist down in Poole. They've done a great job. Roadstar wheels are very difficult to refurbish because you have to mask up the black bits and paint those in after the rest of them, and they look really nice. So obviously here are the new bumpers that actually fit really well. In a later video I will go into more detail about where I got these parts from if you are looking to restore your MGB, because there's various different places that I went to find these. A lot of bits are the same as they were, like all the chrome work. That's all the same, there was nothing wrong with that. These mirrors I'd recently replaced. Actually, the first thing I actually bought for this car for the restoration were these kick plates. So they're very nice. Bought them from Bewley Auto Jumble, but we'll go inside a little bit later. So we've had the car detailed as well by the Universal Classic Cars whilst it was there, so it's gleaming as well as having had the new paintwork. I asked them to go for the kind of more red side of the flame red colour rather than the orange side, and it's also got a coat of lacquer on it as opposed to the single stage paintwork that it had before. So taking a look inside, here it is. I have had the seats retrimmed, but I might have to take them off their rails because you may notice my sunroof is open. I kind of need that to be open because my head sticks out the roof a little bit. My hair brushes against the roof when the sunroof is closed. So either I get used to that or modify them. So that was one of the things I'd like to ask people's advice about. If anyone knows how to do that, just to lower the seat, just so I'm a bit more comfortable, then that would be great. We also have a brand new Motorlita wooden steering wheel. You may remember my last one was a little bit bent, and this is actually the third steering wheel this car's come with, and I think the dark wood with the thick rim that I've gone for works really well with my black interior and red exterior. In fact, let's get a frontal view. That's what it's like from a driver's point of view. I need to clean up the interior a little bit because that wasn't really touched, and there's a few more things I need to do, but this is just stunning. This is the part of a car that you're always connected with, so it's great to have a really nice steering wheel in this car. I may touch in some of the switches and dials just so they're a bit more whiter, but I'm not too fussed about that. I like a bit of originality. Here's the glove box. And I'm also looking for a trimmer for the interior of this car, because the guy that works in this car, as good as he is, he got a bit fed up with the project because there's so many bits and bobs that kept coming up, so I don't want to annoy him any further. So it just needs finishing off. So behind here I've left it loose. There needs to be a bit of leather along that red bit. There also should be an interior light in the middle of here, and this has been done quite badly. It should be nice and tight like the other side. In fact, let me close the sunroof, which is a bit stiffer than it was, just to show you. So this side is really nicely done, and then it's just this side, which is in my field of vision, is not quite as good. So I don't know, it just needs tidying up, unfortunately. Put that back again. And if we just reach into the back here, we've got my wind deflector for the sunroof, and the bits on the end I lost in the restoration process, so I need to somehow make those up, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. So it kind of goes on there and rotates. But let me show you the engine bay, which is something else that I've been working on. I also need a new cable for that. I also painted those myself, very well done. So as this is now a show car, I wanted the engine bay to be as good as the exterior, so that's what I've tried to do. So we tidied up the wires a little bit. Unfortunately, there's so much there, it's hard, you can't really tuck them in the wings unless you do a really big job, so I haven't done that. But we've resprayed the engine bay. I need to clean it up a little bit. So I might connect those wires together a little bit more just so they're a bit out the way. But I've sprayed the fuel rail, the heat shield, the air boxes as well. I've got some new rocker cover that I've painted in the MG logo. But there it is, my B-Series 1.8 litre straight 4 with its twin carbs. I didn't go for Webers, I considered upgrading to Webers, but no, I've stuck with the same SUs, which Originally these MG logos were facing the right way, but we won't worry about that. Now I didn't replace the headlights, but something else I need to do is take this one off and wipe it, because you can see it's got a bit of moisture inside that just needs wiping off. So I wanted to get all these little things done before I reveal the car, and that's why it took so long. But then I just suddenly realised I was close to hitting 500k, and I thought, that's a great opportunity to reveal this car. So let's start it up and take it for a little drive. So I changed the exhaust because the old one was blowing, and my old exhaust sounded fantastic. This new one, whilst you can hear it, it sounds, I know this is a bad way of saying it, it sounds too smooth, it sounds too good. Whilst it is a sports exhaust, I would like to make it louder. So that's another one I need advice for. I want to take some of the baffling out of the back box, because that's all it's got, one back box, and then the rest is just pretty much a straight through system. So just to make it sound a little bit more throaty, that's what I would like to have done. Honestly, this car, it just feels as it did 3 years ago. My memory is harking back to the last time I drove it, which was actually when it snowed and the police turned up and did some donuts in the Farnborough Bowl. That's the last time I properly drove this car before it started going wrong. It wasn't bad, I just used that as an opportunity to restore it, I suppose. So I need to get fuel in this car, so let's go. So it's only got 4 gears plus overdrive. It's not the fast car, but that's not what it's about. So it's fantastic to drive it again. So it's weird because I've been used to like cars with fairly solid suspension, like the 350Z and the Cobra, but this just kind of glides over bumps. It's a whole new experience that I feel like I'm relearning, and leaning around the corner as well. You're not supported like you're in modern cars. The suspension's completely different. Obviously it's leaf sprung on the rear as well. Let me show you the overdrive. I don't know if you're able to hear this, but so I'm in 4th gear at about 50, click it, and then the revs slow down, so you get an extra half a gear. So it's great that's still working, because it was working fine as it was. And then I can just lift it up, and then get a bit more acceleration. In fact, let's knock it down to 3rd, and try and get up this hill. There's no acceleration to it at all. So 60, still at 60. Yeah, it's not getting any faster than 60. I'm not used to this kind of motoring, but you can just use all of the car's power and you're still in line with the law. This car doesn't want to do more than 60 miles an hour, which is what we want. Just avoid the bumps. Whoa, it sways. Oh wow, look at this. That's cool. I've also reset the valves, so now this can run on unleaded fuel. So previously I had to add some lead additive to it, but now I don't have to anymore. So this will be my first fill up not adding lead additive. Aston Martin DB9 Volante as we drive past. Here it is, first receipt for a while from this car. Simple, sweet, but very meaningful reveal of the MGB to celebrate 500,000 subscribers. So there'll be a lot more on this car in the coming weeks and months. Hopefully I'll get it back to exactly where I want it to be, but it's definitely usable, drivable, and I can't wait to take it to its first show. Oh, it's going to be brilliant. So let me know if you've got any comments about this car, any questions or any advice for me. And once again, a huge thanks to all of you for hitting 500,000 subscribers. Here's to the next one. We're going to get to 1 million. Let's do it. Oh, 911. So the next thing to do with this car is to give it to an MG specialist so they can go around it and work out all the nitty-gritty stuff and give advice about what it should need. But then I think once that's done, it's back to as it was when it was new. Now I don't want to say that, it's not quite there, but it's pretty much there. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Go follow me on Instagram for all the pictures of this car, the meets that I go to, information and behind the scenes action. But for now, thanks for watching.